everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today's video we'll be doing the Aphonopelma seemanni, the Costa Rican zebra. We'll be doing a rehouse into this exoterra enclosure. As you can see, she's just in one of these tall plastic boxes, and will be upgraded to a exoterra. So the substrate I'm using is some normal potting soil and some bone dry cocoa fibre, and I'll mix that and the potting soil because it's got some dampness to it. That will help with the humidity for this tarantula. While you watch me make this enclosure, I will talk a little bit about this tarantula, a little bit of the care and husbandry. So the Aphonopelma seemanni is a terrestrial tarantula. That means it lives on the ground, most likely living in their burrows. These can be found in the northern areas that are warmer and much drier in the forests. These tarantulas, if they are a female, they can reach up to 5 to 6 inches in leg span, males reaching slightly smaller. I do recommend these for beginners because this is a new world tarantula, so that means they can move a little bit slower and they have less potent venom. So I do recommend these for beginners, but I'll talk a bit more about that later on in the video. These have a 20-year lifespan if it's a female. Males live about 5 years, over 5 years. And these guys are very slow growing. So if you've got a sling, it will take a few years for it to get to I'll say juvenile size. So it will take a while, as these guys do grow very slowly. Similar to the Grammostola and the Brachypelmas, all of them are slow growing as well. So keep that in mind if you're considering of getting one of these tarantulas, that you will be waiting a while if you get it as a sling, or a juvenile even. So even if you get a juvenile, it'll still take a while for it to become an adult. So let's talk about if these are good for beginners. In my opinion, yes they are. I do think these make beginner tarantulas, although just be aware that they can be skittish at times. This will most likely be when you're rehousing them. You know, if you're putting them in a catch cup, then you might see some skittishness there. But other than that, they do make really good beginners. Also, as with all new wild tarantulas, you have to be careful of their urticating hairs, especially if you are new. So as a defensive attack they will kick hairs off their abdomen, but will go up in the air. So just make sure you don't breathe them in, or if they get on your skin, they can make you itch. So just be aware of that when you're getting new world tarantulas. So let's now talk about the temperature and humidity for these tarantulas. So these tarantulas will prefer it on the drier side. So make sure you don't put wet substrate in the enclosure. However, make sure the substrate has a little bit of dampness, just to give it its humidity. Like I said at the beginning, I use potting soil, which ain't a bone dry substrate. It's got some dampness to it, but it's not soaking. So I would recommend using some of that stuff and mix it with something dry. Also with these tarantulas, as I find with mine is pretty much always out of a hide. So these can make a display tarantula, but also make sure you always put enough substrate in for it to burrow down if they want to hide away when they want to. So I think that's enough information said about this tarantula. Eventually I will get around to doing a proper care and husbandry video for this tarantula, so stay tuned for that if you're interested. So I'm now going to explain what's in the enclosure. So as I said at the beginning, potting soil, and I've used cocoa fibre, mixed that together and used that for the substrate. I put in some wood, or some branches that I picked up that's got some moss on it. Also put some sphagnum moss in as well, a water dish. So our hide is under the big piece of wood that's in the middle of the green bits, and I've dug that out so she can go under there. And then lastly, I put in some leaf litter just to give it a bit more of a better look. And there we go, that is the enclosure made. quite happy with this. I think it looks really cool. So yeah, as you can see, that's where her hide would be, and there's still some more substrate that she can dig out if she likes to. So let's get her in her new enclosure. So here she is in the catch cup. I'm not sure if this is a male or female. I bought it as an unsex. I haven't had it molt yet, as I'm still waiting. Just by looking at it, it does look like it's a female. You know, it's not too skinny, it's got a nice size abdomen and stuff like that, so I'm pretty certain this is a female. But as you can see, just being nice and gentle with these tarantulas, and you should not get any bolts or anything, as long as you're calm and you deal with them nicely. So yeah, that was a very easy rehouse to get her in a new enclosure. Such an amazing tarantula. They did remind me of the skeleton leg tarantula. I can't remember the scientific name, so I'll put that up on the screen. Just from their markings on their front legs. Just reminds me of them a little bit. But yeah, very cool tarantula. Just a little recap. I do recommend these for beginners. Just be aware that they can be skittish at times. Lives up to 20 years, so you can't go wrong with that if it's a female. And I will put up a feeding clip of this tarantula right after this finishes, so you can see a nice takedown from her. And so as always, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is Kaale's Tarantulas. This is where I do unboxing, rehousing, feeding, care and husbandry videos on just tarantulas. So if you're interested in that content, subscribe if you want to. If you like this video, give it a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. I do just want your honest opinions. Drop a comment down below, let me know what you think. Hit the subscribe, hit the share. I hope you enjoyed this feeding clip, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.